Okay, here on Metal Talk Net, I'm here with Glenn Hughes.
Yeah.
And later on this month, in October 29th, we're releasing the third Black Country Communion album, Afterglow. Hi, Glenn, how are you?
Oh, good, Mark. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you again. And it's the third album in 2 years. That's quite a prolific work rate.
If you count the time the last one was like when the first one came out, it was September 2010, was it?
Yeah, so
September 2010.
So in 2 years' time, we've done 3 albums and a live album.
Yeah.
Now I don't know about you, but that's quicker than any Zeppelin, I think, and it's for sure Purple. I don't think anybody except Joe Bonamassa releases albums that quick. Do I care? No, but give us a break. I mean, we need to give you a break.
Yeah.
I need a break. It's Mark. It's really difficult to write 10 or 12 quality songs every year for 3 years. You know, it's a good. It takes a bit of steam to do that. You know, so I need a break now.
And I was like, it's quite a prolific work rate. And obviously, you've got your own solo career. You've been doing solo tours.
Yeah.
Joe obviously does his albums. And so tell us about the writing process of Black Country Communion, because I was like, where do you write the songs? Do you write the songs in the studio or on the road and swap them over?
You don't know from your advanced copy, but the writing on this one more than ever is my album. Simply because Joe doesn't have time to write. Even if you look at his last record, he doesn't write as much as he used to do. So Kevin asked me to go home and do the writing again, which I gladly do. I love to write, as you know. So, and 2 songs Jason came up with, 2 songs which I wrote with him, and the rest is coming from my studio. It's all coming from acoustic guitar stuff. I told you guys in the press that I wanted to make a more of an acoustic album with drama and, you know, orchestrations, and I've done that on this album. I think this is the best album sonically that we've done.
And it's like what was I saying now? Like if this album, like I say, you've gone for more darker passages in many ways, and why is that?
I don't think the rock fans in general negate to pretty songs in this genre and time. I think rock fans in general are pretty intelligent, and they want to be told some stories other than boy meets girl and shags girl and that, you know, sort of the 80s romps. We used to, you know, I don't write songs about shagging and witches, you know. I write songs about, you know, what goes on in the old gut, you know. Shagging and witches.
And the album is called Afterglow. Why have you gone for Afterglow as the title of the album?
I just think that it's a great place to land in them, you know. 1, 2, and I said, not 3. Come on, guys. I love Chickenfoot. The second album, called it 4. I thought it was brilliant. I honestly couldn't really have another one with like 3. And I thought, when I wrote Afterglow, I thought, well, maybe this could be a title track. And I think it stands up for that. Have you heard?
Oh yeah. It's one of my favourites on the album.
Isn't
actually.
it great?
Yeah, it's a fantastic song.
Some people say it sounds trapeze, some people say it sounds Beatley, and it sounds like a Glenn Hughes song to me. I'm not really influenced. You know, obviously on the album you can hear the Who kind of references and a little bit of AC/DC. That's because of the members throwing their bits and pieces in. I try and stay away from that. Actually, I try and say, come on, let's get away from that. But the songs on this album are really personal to me.
And one of my favourite songs on the album is The Circle. It's like a nice, moody, slower track, and it's got a nice little guitar riff there from Joe Bonamassa.
Isn't it great when it's kind of got a... It's definitely got a 1972, 73 swagger to it, which is where I live. I mean, that's, you know, I feel comfortable in this realm, and I like the verse is very melodic. And then comes that other voice, that really high turbo, I call my turbo voice, the aggressive voice. It's just a passionate song, you know, and if you dig that, it means so much to me.
And what other songs on the album are your personal favourites?
Giver, Dandelion, This Is Your Time.
And that's written with Jason.
That's Jace.
Yeah.
Again. I mean, I could just go down the list, actually. Big Train for me was always going to be an opening track, and I'm glad that Kevin and I didn't butt heads on that. When Kevin sent me his running order, I had the same running order, but I had Afterglow number 11 and he had number 6. And he reminded me that a lot of people today don't get to hear the end of the albums, they just get to 3, 4, 5 and 6, and they just... So he said, let's leave it as the centrepiece, and he was absolutely correct.
And the album's being produced again by Kevin Shirley. And he's like sort of regarded as the 5th member of Black Country Communion. What does he bring to the band?
Well, what people don't know about Kevin is that I'm not sure of how good a musician he was, but I can say that he knows what he's talking about. He can pick a bass up or an acoustic guitar and fumble or come away with the knowledge of what... If I'm writing something or Joe's writing something, it's pretty unique in what we write. He'll pick it up and kind of pick it up right away, so he knows what he's talking about. He's also good at calling things really quickly. If you listen to Afterglow, there is an arrangement on that in the verses that goes round and round and then stops and round and stops and round and round. It's like, holy shit. I wrote it more, it flowed easier, but he's got it with the theme coming and going and round, French horns coming and going, holy shit, where are we now? But that's his arrangement of my song. Only to make it just more progressive, if you will.
Obviously the band's called Black Country, but you called the album in Hollywood. So why do you choose Hollywood rather than the Black Country itself?
This one was great. You know, this one was recorded in Westlake Village, about 75 miles north of LA.
I suppose it's a dumb question, really.
No, but you know, I know what you mean. I mean, since the band has been called Black Country Communion these last 2 years or 3 years, a lot of my famous friends love that name. They wish our band could be called. Slash loves that name, Black Country Communion, and it's a damn good name. You know, it's a fine name for a great band. And The Giver, that track sounds to me like it was born in the Black Country. You know, they've got the sound of Traffic meets, you know, Roy Wood meets Trapeze meets a little bit of Zeppelin, and I love it.
Great. And how are Black Country Communion going to promote this album? Will there be tour dates to look forward to in the future?
We hope so. We really hope so.
And there's been rumours like this could be the final Black Country Communion. Is there any truth in that? Or?
The rumour started with me saying I was frustrated. And that was, you know why I said it? Maybe to motivate people. But all it did was upset people. Remember, I'm one guy in a democratic band of 5. And... but I really think that, you know, it's going to be what it's going to be. I would say to you, yes, we're going to tour, but remember this: if we don't come shoot, don't allow everybody, don't come and shoot me, don't find out where I live on Google Earth and come and rappel down my drain pipes.
You've embraced the social media. You know, you're often tweeting away, you know, on a daily basis. And one of your comments the other day was, "Afterglow is a proud moment in your 43-year career." And so it's been a life and sort of life and death experience for you, yeah.
And somebody says, "Oh, I was going to commit suicide."
But you said, like, it's for the rock fans who've given you hope over the time. You know, what do the fans mean to you?
Well, I'll tell you what it does mean is that when I came back to rock music with Black Country, the door to the keys of rock music, a la, you know, the magazines and more, and even more so in America with TV stuff I do, has been wide open. It's almost like the rock fraternity or community welcome me back. You know, the door was never really closed for me in the rock world. I think they, being fans and media, always wanted me to come back to rock. And you know, all these years, if you don't mind me saying so, people have called me the voice of rock for 20 odd years. And for a while I wasn't really singing rock, but they still kept calling me it. And when I came back, it's like, "Oh, he's back, the voice of rock, you know." Joe Elliott says, "He's back."
And funny enough, it was a pop band, KLF, who dubbed you the voice of rock, wasn't it?
I'll take it.
Good. And let's move away from Black Country Communion just a little bit. And obviously, sadly this year we lost John Lord, great friend and colleague of yours in Deep Purple. And what sort of memories of John Lord, what was it about him that puts a smile on your face?
Well, he was funny. He was a gentleman. He did run away with my girlfriend, which was a good thing actually in the end. Maybe, and when I think about, this is wacky, but when I think about why was I in Deep Purple, maybe I joined, maybe God wanted me to introduce him to my girlfriend so they could get married. Weird, but no, Lord and me, we buried that thing years ago, and we played at Child together.
That's
I
right.
think you were there.
Yeah, I was there, yeah.
And we hugged each other, and it was kind of a big moment. The Deep Purple camp has always been bizarre. It's me and Coverdale are like tighter than a frog's arse, but there's no really any family vibe in Purple. It's bizarre.
And you just mentioned the Child Line Rocks. I think that's 2009. I think if I remember correctly, you performed "You Keep On Moving" and "Child in Time" with
We did, man.
John Lord. And
well,
what did that mean to you that night?
Well, I'll tell you what he did mean for me as far as his organ playing. I mean, I have, keyboard players in my bands. When we played "You Keep On Moving" that night, he is sound and was so superior to anything else I played with since him. And like I said, the beauty of it was that John and I became friends again. Seriously, and we'd spoken on several occasions to David about trying to reform Mark III. But we couldn't, who was going to call the Man in Black? I'll do it. No, I'll do it. No, I'll do it. No, I'll do it. Nobody did it.
That's a shame. Obviously, it won't happen now. And talking of Deep Purple as well, it was like a Classic Rock magazine just brought out a magazine. I think it's done like a tribute CD. Like it's called Remachined.
It's on the bed over there. There it is, right there.
Right, it's right there.
Right there, Pop. You want to see a nice picture of Uncle Glenn?
And
my favourite all-time pictures.
Remade the album Machine Head, obviously, Fair's artist. And you get to do 2 tracks on that album. We've done Maybe I'm a Leo.
I did.
And Highway
and
Star.
I'll say this to you, Mark, and to all me fans out there in Love Land. I didn't want to be on this album only because, as much as I admire Mark II, I was in Mark III, and I'm kind of like I don't want to sing an Ian Gillan song. I don't mind him. I think Ian Gillan in this circa of 1972 was brilliant. I think probably better than. I mean, look how handsome he was. But I don't want to sing Ian Gillan songs. For those people out there wanting to know why, I did Maybe I'm a Leo because Chad Smith wrestled me to the floor and made me do it. And B, I did Highway Star. Was Highway Star?
Yeah, Highway Star.
With
Steve
Chad and my dear friend Steve Vai. And when I heard Steve Vai's guitar playing, I went, we did it for John, by the way, it was our tribute to John. When I heard Vai's guitar work, I went, holy crap, I've got to do something extraordinary here. So if you listen to Highway Star, my version of it, it starts off sounding like Gillan, and then it goes into overdrive. It goes into a more Glenn thing.
And obviously that's a song you actually sang live with Mark III, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Back in the day. And but Maybe I'm a Leo, I actually love it. It's like you've sort of funked it up in many ways. And
the reason I wanted to have a trio is to make it more Hendrix. Not Cream, I wanted it to have more swagger. And Luis Maldonado, one of my guitar players from my solo work, a good friend of mine in Chad's, we brought Luis in, and we did it 20 minutes. The whole thing was done in 20 minutes. It was just bam.
Fantastic. And by the time this interview will come out, it'd be a past event, but 29th of September you're playing at Wembley for the Jim Marshall tribute, and I believe you're playing with Andy Fraser, who'll free that night.
I am. I have become really good friends with Andy, who I love dearly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of the reasons I'm probably, well, probably still be sitting here, but he's one of the reasons I'm sitting here in the state I'm in, because he gave me permission to play bass like that. I mean, he's just the greatest bass player ever, you know, in my opinion.
And obviously there's a lot of free influences in the sound of Black Country Communion, so are they a favourite band of yours, or?
Oh yeah, oh absolutely. I wouldn't signal anyone out in particular in Free. I think as a combination of players, they were, along with The Who, they were my favourite English group.
Fantastic. Well, Glenn, it's been fantastic talking to you as always.
Thank you, Mark.
The album Afterglow is out on October the 29th from Mascot Records. We're looking forward to that, and long live Black Country Communion and Glenn Hughes.
Thank
you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Excellent, man. That was great.